Hello everyone, I'm Steve, Marc's at work, and this is Smokey Steve and Marc. Either welcome or welcome back. Technically it is the weekend. It's not really the weekend, but I'm going to be off for 5 days. So I'm off today, I'm off tomorrow. Very exciting. Happy day after Christmas. I think there's probably some folks out there with the cocktail flu. Maybe some folks are staying in today. That's what I'm doing. I'm a little perturbed. The tree fell over. So I'm a little bummed. It was the thing about Christmas I put the most into. Worst problems in the world than your tree falling over, I understand. But it was weird because I went out to the store. I put Bandit in the bedroom because him and Oscar, I swear, want to switch places. Oscar wants in, Bandit wants out. And came back and the tree was on the ground. So I had to vacuum, sop up some of the water, broken ornaments, whatever. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about caretaking. And I wanted to kind of use a couple that I follow as something of a, I don't want to say a case study, but as an example of what I would want for myself and what I would hope for Marc to do, or what we might do for each other if one or the other got very ill very fast. Now, just for context, for anyone who doesn't watch our channel, Marc has a chronic health condition. He has rheumatoid arthritis, and some yet unidentified autoimmune issue that's going on. I have a mental health condition. I have bipolar disorder. So, and it goes in and out of remission even though I've been pretty well for a while. So there's ample opportunity for either of us to need to provide long-term care to the other, should that happen. So the couple that I've been following, one partner is very ill at the moment and going through cancer, and their partner, who is not as ill but still has a condition of her own, it's a heterosexual couple, is trying to provide care the best way I believe she knows how, but has come under fire, has had some criticism from a few different places about the relationship she's had with the providers, the pace at which she wants her partner out of the hospital, the amount of grief that she's dealing with, in not grief like, well, I imagine there's a level of grief if your partner of I believe 25 years is going through a hard time, but also the grief she's giving the staff. So just for some examples, and in the same way we discussed Chantal, using them as an example of what I would want for myself or what I would hope Marc would do for me. Just some comparisons. Now let's just say, for the sake of example, it wasn't one of our conditions. Let's say something more immediate happened. Let's say I got cancer. For the sake of argument, let's just say esophageal cancer. I just pulled that out of nowhere. I'm a smoker. It could be a reality. Even if I quit and started vaping, something could still happen. And let's say it was kind of messy even getting into the diagnosis because I was blowing off the care because Marc was insisting it was probably just heartburn, and we didn't go to the hospital. I won't be painting Marc in a very favorable light during this, just for the scenario. We get a diagnosis, and we drag our feet for 3 months before starting treatment. And then when the treatment starts, there's options of surgery or chemotherapy. A lot of people face those decisions when they're dealing with a cancer diagnosis. There might be both on the table in sequence or as a choice at the beginning. And I'm kind of not sure what to do. So at this point, Marc, who is my power of attorney, medical advance directive, he makes those decisions if I'm not able to. He seems to be exerting that authority, even though I'm not incompetent, that he makes all the decisions. So we wait, I start chemo, we have to get there back and forth. I had already lost some weight because of the delay in treatment, and I couldn't swallow. So I'd been losing weight. Let's say I lost 50 pounds, and I was going in at about 130 pounds, I'm 6 feet tall, into chemo. So I've gotten very weak. We get to the end of chemo, we find out that there's a really good outcome in that, some of the cancer had shrunk, so I can eat again. This is good. I put on a little weight, but there's a chance the cancer could come back. Like 3 out of 4 chance the cancer could return. So they give you the watch and wait. I've had a lot of family members with cancer. You get the watch and wait, and you hang out and see, and you look at the risk factors. Let's say I'm older, I've been smoking a long time, my cardiovascular health might not be so good, And then there's the option of surgery. Now, let's say in Marc's mind, the surgery is a good option because they just go in and scrape out the cancer, and I'm good as new. It's in my lymph nodes. I can appreciate that some people have a hard time pronouncing it. Lymph nodes. So it's spread to some other places. But in his mind, if we have the surgery, it'll be over, and I'll be right as rain, and everything will be okay. So I'm terrified of surgery. I don't want to go in for it. But Marc knows best. And he's been calling the shots for a while, so we go for surgery. And he's under the impression, or at least he's telling me, that the surgery will be very quick, that it'll go in and out no problem. We even have some subscribers telling us that it'll be like getting my appendix out. So with all this reassurance coming through, I feel good going into it. Not great because I'm scared, but good going into it. So let's say I'm in the hospital. I'm just hypotheticals, mind you. Let's just say I'm in the hospital, and they do the surgery, and I wake up, and I have tubes coming out of everywhere. My nose, my chest, my back. I have an epidural for pain. I was under the impression I'd be getting a lot of pain medication. Not from the medical staff, but I was reassured by Marc, who had an operation 30 years ago when medicine was quite different. That's his only medical experience, mind you. He just is transposing that onto me and telling me that's the way it'll be. I'll just sleep the first few days. Instead, I'm in the hospital, wide awake, in a measure of pain. Marc's coming to visit me, pretty much, which is good. My immune system's kind of compromised, but he keeps bringing in stuff from home, which might have germs on it. Maybe, unless he Lysol'd everything. He's bringing in cologne to spray me down with, which I'm not sure is helpful. He's filming this for the channel while we're in the hospital. HIPAA be damned, apparently. I hope the hospital doesn't find out that he's filming, or else they might not allow him to come back. But I am glad that he's there. I'm not glad that he's yelling at the nurses, and that he's yelling at the doctors, and that he feels like on some level they're trying to kill me. I'm not happy about the fact that there's 2 people that he believes are completely trying to destroy our lives, that he felt like we needed a blackout list. We have a pretty small channel. I don't think anyone was going to try to come with the paparazzo. I'm not happy with the fact that he wanted nobody to call, and then said, see, nobody called, because nobody cares. I was confused about that, but he did reassure me that my family hates me. And that I should hate them. So he put some batteries in my back and gave me the reminder that it's just me and him all alone. So I've been in the hospital for maybe a week, 7 or 8 days, and Marc wants to bring me home. Tubes and all! Tubes and all! Our home is not prepared for me to be handicapped. We don't have a handicap accessible shower. We do have a set of stairs that I need to get up to get there. Our bed is not right next to the bathroom. And at this point, I've begun tube feedings. Now, tube feedings give me diarrhea. And I haven't walked in a week. So the Vegas odds that I'm going to make it from the bedroom to the bathroom are going to be not so good. Not so good. I may have some accidents along the way. And I think that's to be expected whether you're in the hospital or at home. It's just something that goes part and parcel with that procedure. So that might be something unexpected that Marc might not be thinking about if he's going to try to bring me home that fast. There's also the issue if Marc has a flare, because Marc has a chronic condition as well. And if he has a flare and he's not able to take care of himself that day, I'm not sure how he's going to be able to take care of me in a weakened, compromised state with a compromised immune system at the moment. Now, we have a cat, and Marc comes in and out of the apartment. I mean, we have a tree at the moment in the house. So it's, making the home ready for me to come home would be a challenge as well. We have a smaller apartment, and it is harder, I will say, it is harder to keep our small apartment clean. We don't have a ton of chores. Not clean, uncluttered, because we don't have a lot of storage space. And I have my chair, which I like, which I would happily sit in until I was probably having bed sores, because it's my comfortable spot in the house, and I don't want to be coaxed out of it. I also know that if I say I'm in pain, Marc won't coax me to do anything I don't want to do. Unless it's shopping. Then all bets are off. Then we can get up way early in the morning and get out the door. So I would be very hesitant if these were the decisions that Marc was making in my interest, allegedly in my best interest. I wouldn't doubt for a second that Marc cares about me or loves me, regardless of the questionable decisions and his attitude towards the staff, all that stuff that he might be doing. None of that takes away from the fact of how he feels about me and cares about me. I wouldn't doubt that he thought he was doing what would be in my best interest. I would be curious about the fact, or my most suspicious self would think, I wonder if he's sick of just coming to the hospital. I wonder if it's a burden to him. Well, if he has a condition, it probably is something of a burden to him. I would like to think after a very long period of relationship that he would come and see me, and maybe a little put out by traveling, but would get there and would hopefully be a support for me. I would be upset if he was filming in the hospital room, because I would like to think our channel would go on hold and our subscribers would understand, because this could be a life or death situation, and I wouldn't want to chronicle my slow demise on our YouTube channel. I would ask Marc to just extend a courtesy to you guys to let you know how I'm doing, and just say, hey, doing well, or if not doing well, please send some thoughts and well wishes, maybe prayers if you pray, that kind of thing for me. But I wouldn't be comfortable if Marc was documenting me, and let's say treatment had caused me to be in and out of it on camera. If Marc tried to dress me up like a Christmas tree and be on camera, that's not something I would go for. If I was not quite in or out of it, and Marc tried to insist that I really wanted to be on camera, when in fact I'd rather just sleep because I was in a measure of pain and hadn't slept for 4 days, I would be a little angry at him too. But again, just examples of things that I might be comfortable with and would not be comfortable with if Marc was making those decisions if I were ill. Just saying. So, it's hard to say. Every couple is different. Every couple interacts differently. Some people, yelling at each other is a sign of love. For some people, soft conversation is. For some people, it's all lip service. It's all crap. What you do demonstrates how much you care about the other person. I think my biggest hope would be that my medical care would be decided by medical professionals, and that I would be in a place where I could heal and recover, pretty much. And I would hope that my health would be priority number one to Marc, and that our other concerns like finances and me maybe getting back to work and having my employment resume, especially if I was in a very compromised state, that I would have ample time to heal before trying to jump back into the business of life. I might want to go back to work when I'm done, even if I don't feel well, because it gives me something to do. So even if Marc didn't want me to go back to work, if he did, if he didn't, I might be tempted to go anyway, regardless of his feelings about it, because it might mean something to me to do it, even if it didn't mean anything to him. It might give me a sense of accomplishment, a sense of, something to do, a purpose. So even if that was or wasn't his idea, I might want to go. But beyond that, if I didn't make it, I don't know how Marc would react. Marc has functioned on his own before. If it had only been he and I for a very long time, I'm not sure who he'd reach out to. Marc doesn't have a lot of Marc has my family. And Marc has an aunt who's very kind and who he stays in touch with. And that's more or less it. He has friends who I think he would call his chosen family. And then, like I said, he has my family, and I have my family. So we're not in a situation where we're totally isolated. But if I were to pass, and we didn't have that kind of support, he'd be totally on his own. He'd be totally reliant. The car's in my name. We don't own property. We're renters. He would have his income minus mine. There's a life insurance policy, so he might be doing a little well for a while, and it might seem like things are good, but that's going to run out. So, I'm worried about what's going to happen to him, ideally, as much as he's going to worry about what's happening to me. So again, I just wanted to kind of throw out some scenarios in this case study, because it's not as much about what this channel I'm following and what they're doing. It's kind of making me think, what would I want for myself? What would I want for my partner to do for me? What would I not want my partner to do for me? So this isn't meant, I'm saying this at the end, I should have said it at the beginning. This isn't meant to jab, exactly, or meant to be trolling. This is just meant to see what these folks are putting up on YouTube and decide, based on what they're showing us on their channel in their different episodes, would I want that for myself? Would I not want that for myself? It's not about do I agree or disagree. Of course I have feelings about how these two are making decisions, but it's more about how would we two, us two, make decisions. So, thank you for joining in the discussion. If you have any thoughts about it, please leave some comments below. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, hit the like button. You can follow Marc and I on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc. Our email address and contact information, all that's listed below. Thank you for watching, and we will catch up with y'all tomorrow. Bye.